Hello, friends and family. I hope you are well this morning. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever part of the world that you are at. My name is Jackie Phamotse. I'm an author and I'm also a reader in this channel. We review books. The aim is to make reading fun and fashionable. We want to have a society that has a culture of reading, and reading is a habit and not something difficult, and not just reading for the purposes of an exam. So to get on it today, we are reviewing a book by Jackie Phamotse. Here it is. I shared with you some snippets video in the shorts concerning on what we'll be reading. Yeah, my apologies for late upload. I had issues with technical issues, but anyway, firstly, let me just introduce you to her, who is Jackie Phamotse, and then after that, there's a disclaimer in the book that usually when an author puts a disclaimer in the book, I would just also mention the disclaimer because I feel like it's important to do so. But either way, let's continue. I'm going to read that for you. Jackie Phamotse is a writer, social activist, philanthropist. Her debut novel, Bear, The Blesser's Game, was published in 2017 and was awarded the African Icon Literary Award in Lagos, Nigeria. Her second novel, Bear, The Cradle of the Hookery Club, will be released in 2019. Oh, that was back then. Okay. Jackie's main objective is to create awareness and find long-term solutions to eradicate social ills. Her books are aimed at educating and empowering people to make better life choices. Her work encompasses creating awareness around rape culture, mental illness, and human trafficking. She currently lives in South Africa. A nation that knows its origin cannot be misled or sold a future they have not prepared for, says Jackie Phamotse. So there's quite a lot. This book was published long ago, but there's quite a lot that she has done for herself. So this about the author here is just limited according to some of the achievements that I've seen in her life. You see. So okay. Anyway, the disclaimer. Although the author and the publisher have made every effort to ensure that the information in this book was correct at the time of going to press, the author and publisher do not assume and hereby disclaim any liability to any party for any loss, damage, or disruption caused by errors or omissions, whether such errors or omissions result from negligence, accident, or any other cause. The book is not intended as a substitute for law advice. Please hear that clear. Please consult a professional lawyer for each case or any legal matter. For information about special discounts available for the bulk purchases, sales promotion, fundraising, and educational needs, contact Jackie Phamotse at info@jackiephamotse.com. So yeah, that was the disclaimer, and also about the author, some information about the author, so that for those who do not know her might have an idea of who I'm talking about. Yeah, she is a South African author, our very own South African author, and I've realized one thing about her, that she really speaks a lot on defending women and children. I've seen her quite a few, in fact many a times doing that, and I appreciate her for that. She's one of the people who are assets in a country, and advocate for young people. I've seen her in some universities, helping students with whatever that they needed help with. But about the author is really explained and give us a light on who is Jackie Phamotse and what she does. But she is a South African author. She also wrote a children's book. Yeah, this children's book that she wrote, I should get it. I'll also be reviewing it. It's a collection of 3 books. Liwa what? Yeah, I'll check it out. Okay, in this book review, I'll just get into 3 points of the contents of the book. I mean, I'll give you the lessons that I've learned going through the book, and also give you um, my final remarks about the book, because I wrote something here, my final observation and thinking about the book, besides the lessons that I've learned, right? So, okay, firstly, I would like to also talk about, also, no, let me talk about this chapter in her book called Revenge Porn, which is a great concern, because I've, I've, I've chosen topics that in this chapter, in this book, that I'll just share with you, and of which they're important. She talked about revenge porn. For those who do not know that, revenge porn, it's described as because couples and people who are in romantic relationships, whenever they are so much in love with one another, and they take videos or photos of their sexual conduct in bed, in the house, or wherever that they may be. They will be sending each other nudes, pictures, videos, and all that. So Jackie Phamotse talks. It happens a lot in South Africa. Like the past 6 months, I've seen it. I've seen it reported in the news a lot. So Jackie Phamotse wrote about that in the book, so that to raise an awareness to people, right? She mentioned in her book that there was a point where she had such type of content between her and her boyfriend. So what she did once she started realizing the negative impacts of that, she went to her boyfriend and they had a conversation about it, and then she mentioned how she's not comfortable, and yeah, she did not really disclose much about that conversation, but above all, what she wanted to was to be on the safe side, right? And then she said, I even paid my boyfriend to erase those pictures, those nudes pictures, and even in the cloud software, so that she can be on a cleaner slate. And then they signed an NDA. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. So non-disclosure agreement, then it means if ever maybe there were other pictures that he had somewhere and he would share them, it means Jackie Phamotse now has the legal right in order to sue him, because they signed a non-disclosure agreement. So it was a warning uh, 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 to couples and those who are in relationships, so that they might be careful in sharing their sexual content with one another. But someone might say, no, he's my partner, I love him or I love her, it's a way of expressing love. Yes, and that's yours, and I don't have a problem with that. But in this book, she's raising an awareness, and that one of the things that she said was that my career depended on that. So meaning that if one of that video or whatever picture is being leaked out there, then it will destroy her reputation so much. I've seen a lot of people in social media whom their reputation were destroyed so much. Um, so it's good to play safe on that space, especially in our time, because of when everyone falls in love, they have good intentions and whatsoever. But when people divorce, when people go through breakup, others, they don't take it lightly. Sometimes you might think you know a particular person, but until you guys break up, then the true colors come out. I've seen others who they've been exposing secrets of their partner. No, they can't cook. No, they can't do this. They can't do this. So part of them exposing those secrets, they will expose even your videos or your pictures that you allowed them to take. You see? So I'm not trying to paint people that they are bad partners or what, because of that would not make sense now, because of their love is so deep and intense. You guys are loving one another, but this thing, it's a problem. Others, you never know what might happen in a relationship. A simple argument can make your pictures end up being in the social media, and they trend very quickly. One leak of a picture, it trends quickly. That level of sexual content, it trends so quickly. I've seen politicians, they trended. Celebrities, I've seen them, they trended. And yeah, so Jackie Phamotse warns that Yena, for herself, she signed non-disclosure and made sure that all those pictures are deleted. You see, because she even spoke about a lady. Is it a lady who was a victim of that, and then the police just did not know what to do with it because of it was some sort of a new thing, and then the laws were not. I'm not sure now. I'm not sure now, but there's somehow a case that Jackie talks about, but that's overseas. So I'll share with it now. So, but another point that she says is that not everyone has the money to sue, right? Because you might say you want to sue a person because of it's your legal right, but then it's not everyone who has that money in order to sue because of lawyers are expensive. And the other thing that she mentioned is that the damage might be bigger than just money, even if you have money, but then the damage that might come, it might be bigger than money. You might have the millions to pay, but the damage, your reputation, you might lose brands and all that. I remember this other guy called Tolesmo. He lost a lot of money, a lot of brands because of he was falsely accused of rape. You see, so such things. But that was a false accusation, according to how I've been analyzing and getting the news. So, but what I'm saying is that, guys, let us be careful. Let us be careful. As much as we are in love, we should be sober. Be sober in our interaction with our partners, whether in marriage or in relationships. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. There was this other kid who trended in a particular high school because of those nudes. She was a grade 11 or 10 learner. She sent those nudes to her then boyfriend, and then she trended all over the schools. The parents got involved. Luckily, she was strong enough in terms of emotion. She did not kill herself or do anything to harm herself. You see. So back to the one, not everyone has money to sue, and then you never know the outcomes. But Jackie here talks about the successful case 4 years after a California woman sued her ex-boyfriend for posting sexually explicit photographs and videos of her online. She has been awarded $6.4 million, which is 80 million rand in South African rands, in one of the largest judgments of this kind. That's good money, but sometimes you are unable to sue. Lawyers are expensive. The damage could be bigger than an amount. So what can we do to protect ourselves from this form of abuse and extortion? I think the answer is plain. Just don't take or send such things to anyone. I agree with her. That's the safe side. Others might say, no, that my partner for whatever reason. But for safety, I also believe her in that. 80 million. Yeah, that's a good money, eh? But anyway, let's continue. In one of the chapters, Jackie talks about cyberbullying. Because of this book, it's about social media behavior. It's about social media behavior. It's a good manual. It's a good book for you to get in order to get to learn more about social media knowledge, how to behave, and all that. Right? Okay. Number 2, cyberbullying. There's a chapter where Jackie Phamotse talks about cyberbullying, and then in that part of that chapter, there's somewhere where she talks about the special concerns about cyberbullying, and one of the concerns, she said that anyone can view, comment a post, a content shared by individuals. Anyone can view your photos, anyone can comment and all that. And then she says that that can cause trouble, because I remember there was this lady whom they used her picture in some social media platform, and then whenever she interacted with people, that account interacted with people, that ruined her reputation so much. And then even now she struggled to deal with it because of it's out there, you see. So those are part of the special concerns that Jackie Phamotse is talking about, because of anyone can view, anyone can comment the photos you post, and the content, you see. But we'll get more on that just now. So how a person comments can cause trouble, right? Can cause trouble to them and also to you, but mostly it can be to them, because of brands are watching. You can lose your job by just commenting in a certain post. You can be sued by commenting on a certain post, right? So Jackie talks about something which is called an online reputation, right? And then we'll get more on that when we talk about a chapter that I'm coming into now. That the social media reputation, it's taken very seriously in our time, and then it has the high chances of destroying your career. I believe by now we have an understanding. We've seen many celebrities suffering from that. There's this show. Is it on Netflix? No, I think it's Showmax. No, Netflix. Yeah, it's called Unfollowed, talking about the reasons why certain celebrities and certain media personalities were unfollowed because of how they've conducted themselves in social media. Check that out, it will help you out. Right. Okay. Jackie talks of her friend who lost a visa application because she said something about the country she was to visit. Right? That's what she says. That her friend would not be allowed in order to access a particular country because of she said something about that particular country. You see how deep it really affects you on the things that you would say on social media. Imagine you got a job in a particular country and then you're applying for the visa, but they're like, no, we don't approve you. This is what you said. But I'm concerned because of people continuously do that. Consistently, they do that. They say bad things and they say nothing wrong. I don't know why it takes time for us to learn. It's only the few who are learning. Oh, okay, this is wrong, I should stop it. I don't know why. I don't know why. You see. But she also talks about, in terms of parenting, that kids, how you should detect whether your kids is the bully or they're the one being bullied, and how, in order for you to stop that. um I will touch on that when I talk about the lessons. How are you, in order for you to limit access, you can block them. Yeah, but let's quickly go to this one. That's some sort of a rubber stamp to the one that I was talking about, which is a chapter that Jackie talks about. The internet never forgives nor forgets. What? That's harsh. Unfortunately, I have to agree with that. The internet never forgives nor forgets. We say a lot of stuff and we don't think of the future outcomes. We don't calculate, says Jake. We do not calculate what we say on social media. And the thing that we should be more careful about, it's saying the bad things, right? The bad things trend more than the good things. So you can consistently be saying the good things, and then one bad thing can destroy your career for a very longest time. You see, so you might ask yourself a question: why does the social media never has what do you call, mercy or grace towards other people. So Jackie says social media is just people. What did I forgot? Oh my god. But she says social media are somehow people who don't have hearts, who just don't care. Right? And one shocking thing is that I remember I was with this other celebrity in Joburg, and he says, you see, people, the person who commented on my post, here they are. I met this lady here, and then she's excited to see me. She gives me a hug. She wants to take a picture with me. But on social media, she said bad things about me. You see? So that's one thing personal I don't understand. It's like we enjoy tweeting or saying bad things about people on social media, but when we meet them, we are just humble. It's like it's not us who are saying those bad things. So I don't know what kind of people we have become. Myself, I don't have Twitter. I don't even want Twitter. And I have a Facebook account, but I'm away for some time. I think been 4 months now, 6 months. But I'll be interacting on inboxes, messenger, and all that, because there's quite a lot of negativity that's there. And yeah. But anyway, let me continue. Companies, they check out your media, especially the financial companies. Yeah. Social companies, they check that out in our time. I was talking to someone a few days ago that about such things, that they, before they even hire you, they go to your social media accounts. And then that person further said that in their company, they even hire investigators from outside in order for them to check you out. You see? And then I was like, what if then your account is a private account? He was like, no, it doesn't matter. Even if it's a private account, we will find you. So it's that big. So your social media behavior, it plays a role. I was with this other lady who's part of the HR management in a particular company. She said that in one of the interviews, she would call the person who has come to be interviewed with their social media name, and that person would not be comfortable. Like, why? Where did you find that name? So, and then she said that why do we write names that we would not want to be addressed with? La Beauty, La what? The type of names that they are people they have on social media. Trust me, the intense research that companies do, yo, it's so big, especially the financial sector. They check even your debts, your how you manage your monies, and then they might not even admit you in their company or hire you because of you cannot manage your finances wisely. So it's that big. It's that big, guys. There's quite a lot of people. Um, Somehow I've interacted with people who have lost their job because of that. Someone said something terrible about a certain insurance company, and then 2 years down the line, he was called for an interview because of he applied at that particular company. So now the HR manager's like, no, unfortunately, we cannot hire you because of this is what you said 2 years ago about our company. So like 2 years ago. And then he said to me, like, that's a long time. How can they really judge me about something that I did 2 years ago? I'm like, the law never forgets. There are other people who are still on trial for a case that they committed 15 years or 20 years ago. There are people who got arrested. Okay, they were released on bail, but 10 years down the line, then they got arrested and then they got sentenced. The law never forgets. And also, as Jackie said in a chapter, that the internet never forgives nor forgets. Oh, that's painful, eh? It's painful. But above all, we can still grow. I know a lot of people who have said who have went through a lot, and then they said bad things, and then they changed to be better people. So if the internet never forgets, I believe that if you apologize on the things that you have said about people and start posting a content that is true, I believe people can buy into that forgiveness, though it's only the few. But saying it really helps. But be careful, man. Aish. Be careful, because the last point here is that you are one post away from. Excuse me. Sorry about that. You are one post away from losing your job. Think twice before you post. Like, let us think twice before we post, guys. Please, 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 please. I saw this the Sadiki family, their house burned down this week. Yeah, their house burned down this week, and people were feeling sad. They were not happy about that, and then yeah. But there's this few of people who were saying words like, no, Tina, we don't have a 5 million to give them. Why don't they ask their sisters? They are celebrities, those people. Some were saying, no, these people, they have enough money. They can, why should we donate for them? Because of, there was this media release that they were asking that we help them in whatever that we can, whether clothes, whether finances, because of their house burned down. And people were saying a whole lot of things. So the problem is not whether they were right or wrong, but the timing. And as I was saying, the social media never forgets nor forgives, because people were saying it's like, no, these people, they were traveling to another country for holidays and all that. They were revamping their kitchen, so it's clear that they have a lot of money. A person, their 3 million or 5 million house just got burned down. Like, no, don't they have policies that they can cash in? I'm like, whoa, okay. What if, yes, they have policies, but then the policies can help build the house and renovate the house. But then what about the furniture? What about the TV? What about the clothes? What about the micro oven? What about some of the equipment that was needed there? Right? So sometimes we should be careful on how we 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 say, on what we say on social media concerning about other people's situations. Right? Someone, like the comments were very bad to a certain group of people. Some would say, no, it's a lie and all that. I've been following them for a while, and I realized that there was a church that they had started, and then they were saying in the YouTube video that they spent a lot of money to revamp the church and all that, right? And I'm thinking maybe some of the money that they used could have been spent there at that church. Unfortunately, they had to close it down to whatever reason. So, but what I want to say is that, guys, let us be careful in saying things when people are in need, right? Few days ago, there was this other guy. So his car got stuck, right? And then, okay, we are trying to help him. It's a very expensive car. So we are trying to help him. So it seems like there was a problem with the battery. So I don't know what went wrong. So we assisted him, and then the car was fine. Someone came and then recharged the battery, and then the car was fine. And then, but the comments of people when we were walking, I'm like, what's wrong with the car? It's a Mercedes Benz, but it has huge issues. Unfortunately, the battery just it was old, you see, and then out of nowhere it just decided to switch off. So it was an emergency. It was not like he doesn't have money. It was not like he's not able to maintain that car, but the battery just switched off. So you can never know what's going on in the lives of people. So even if we see that people have a lot of money whatsoever, like, let us be careful on what we comment. I remember Dr. Malinga, a South African musician, had issues with SARS, and then they took almost everything in his house. He was crying on social media, and people assisted him. So now for us to, in that challenge, we should capitalize on that and be like, no, yeah, he did this, he spent money there and there. No. Even if you feel like there were some bad decisions that they've made in their lives, but that's not the right time for you to give those comments, because of the following day it will be you, and people would use your comment. The very same people who are laughing in whatever post that you've shared, they will also laugh at you when you'll be the one going through the most. They'll be like, oh, you said this about a particular person, miss. So whether you are right on giving those remarks, but the timing, just because of that going through a lot, just keep quiet. Because of now you'd be right, you'd be going through the most, and people would not care, right? But anyway, let us just continue, and let me share with you the lessons that I've learned. Okay, I've learned that if I am not emotionally strong enough, I should stay away from social media. Yeah, if you're not emotionally strong, you can't stand the comments that come from other people, then stay away from social media. Balega, run away. Okay, secondly, I learned that this book is also for parents. Kids clash on social media and it ends up being physical, and schools don't care if it's outside the school premises. We've seen that a lot in South Africa. Kids, they bully each other at school on social media. Then after school, they step one another, they kill one another. And schools, they'll be like, whatever happens outside the school, we don't care. Right? So it's the responsibility of parents to monitor that, to monitor the social media presence of their kids, so that to see if they're being bullied or they are the bully, right? Because the consequences are bad, are bad, are bad. There are videos of kids that were leaked. I remember a certain lady, her friend leaked her nudes pictures on the school group, and then it was difficult for her. But unfortunately, even herself, she never committed suicide. So there are kids also who commit suicide because of that, right? Yeah. Okay. I learned that the book is relevant in our time, and it's also a transgenerational book. The book is relevant in our time because of we are living in the times of social media, and then it will forever be needed even in the future for us to be constantly reminding ourselves on our behavior on social media, right? So Jackie Phamotse shares a lot about what parents they should do to observe and where to notice, to protect, you see. But to block access, Jackie shares on what to do as a parent if your child is a bully or the one being bullied. So please check it out on the book. I don't want to share more, and then you end up not getting the book. I want you to get the book, right? But then what's my favorite quote in the book? My favorite quote in the book is that Jackie says, it's not always easy to know how and when to step in as a parent, friend, or a colleague. Yeah, that's my favorite because prevention is better than cure. Sometimes you never know how severe it is. Sometimes also you as a parent, as a colleague, or as a friend, when you want to step in and help your friend, it's already bad. It's already bad. So I would say be careful, prevent it before it even happens. Share the book with friends, share the video with your families and whoever that you can warn, right? Whoever that you can warn, because of the social media never forgets or forgets, you see. But you can still do well for yourself, even in that case. Other people, they'll forever speak bad things about you. You just need to be aware of that. Yeah, but anyway, let me say this, where you can get the book. The book is found in Exclusive Books. Take a lot. For the first time I read it, I found it at Tshwane Library Services, which is under Tshwane Municipal Libraries in South Africa, specifically the Gauteng province, right? But then if Jackie Phamotse, she's a public figure, if you can check for her on on the internet. Just type Jackie Phamotse. It will show you all the platforms where you can get the book. So now this is my conclusion, the final remarks about the book. I wrote it down. I just want to share with you, and then I'll be out of here. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is a well-researched book, which is a very useful manual regarding social media for both personal and business purposes. I would recommend it to companies because Jackie shares wonderful insights regarding marketing in a social media perspective, up to a level of you knowing and understanding your audience as a brand. She echoes quality as the biggest priority. I quote, I always say that one of the best ways to stand out is to just be yourself in high resolution. Close quote, says Jackie. It is a very informative book. Once you read it, you will also know how to protect yourself in the social media streets. The book gives you a heads up about social media live. It's a book I would recommend also to law students so they can intensify their knowledge concerning social media laws that should be applied or that should be known. If you're looking to be a content creator, I would advise you get this book first before you start your content creation. You will definitely never regret getting it. If I had read this book before, I would have avoided some mistakes I did on social media. Above all, the book helped me to know my place on social media, and I'm still working on that. However, I'm a better person now. This book is actually for everyone because these days everyone is on social media and some keep making mistakes. It shows that the need for knowledge that is in the book, it's still there. This is a great book, and the style of writing keeps calling my name. Those were just the remarks that I have concerning the book. So thank you so much, family. I believe that was informative. Please get the book and be careful what you say on social media. Thank you and have an amazing day. Check out the book recommendations that I'll be doing next week. Thank you.